There are many indie games that can make you feel nostalgic over the 80 and 92D action game. Shovel Knight, Ascii and Verge, Freedom Planet, Cyber Shadow, etc. And Ascii the Brave Cat is another one of that. First, you can see that the game didn't use pixelate art style like other games do when they want their game to have a retro aesthetic. I'm not sure why, maybe because the cost of pixel art is too high for this sole developer, but the graphic looked good enough for me. I like the colorful, bright, and sharp tone of it. It is not a graphic that will win any award, but it is well suitable for the game. And most of the thing, it's so cute. Ascii the Brave Cat is a good game base on many 2D games in NES and SNES era. With more than that, it brilliantly adds new gameplay, puzzle, bosses fight, and level design challenges that no other game did before. The game will begin immediately after you press start. It has only some short and vague story dialogue at the map scene before we enter the first level of the game. That dialogue didn't tell us much about the story. It said about some evil cats who had come and ruled the world, and Ascii, the main character, can't ignore this. Then he set out on his adventure to beat them. This is some kind of the most basic story you can imagine, but it's okay for this kind of game. Ascii begins his journey very modestly. He can only jump, shot the voice bullet, and bump on the enemies. The voice bullet reminds me of the game named Wagon Land. It was a popular NES game that no one talking about anymore nowadays. And sure, you can see that the bump attack comes from the DuckTale game. You can hold the down button and press left or right while bumping. This makes control more flexible and easier to play. The voice bullet distance is quite short. This makes you have to move close enough to the enemy before shot. But for this red jelly that requires you to shot him 2 times, stand too close, and he will run to hit you before you can launch the second shot, so bumping him seems to be the better solution. You can use bumping to make Ascii reach some faraway platform too, like this. By progress through the game, you will get special weapons from the treasure box. Some of them are based on the Castlevania series such as Arrow, Boomerang, Clock, and Axe. Some seem to come from popular manga named Naruto, such as the Warp Dagger or the Sharingan. But my most favorite is the checkpoint ball. It will allow you to create the checkpoint anywhere in the game. This is really cool. There is a total of 10 special weapons, and I found that all of them are important, usable, and have a significant usage spot in the game. Find all of the special weapons and Ascii upgrade items is very challenging since all of them are hidden inside the treasure box that requires you to find the key to open. So even the game is more like Mega Man in Shovel Knight style than Metroidvania style. There is a good amount of exploration experience in this game. All throughout Ascii the Brave Cat's campaign, it never feels like it's running out of ideas. And I found myself uniquely challenged by each new level. A lot of design, traps, puzzles, and mechanics are thrown at you along the game. For example, the mysterious 2 big clock, the rolling big donut on the stage full of sweets, the pirate pop boss, the music puzzle, the windy ice land, the Kid Dracula roller coaster, and especially, my favorite, the Elvis singer cat. But I have to tell you that some stage of the game will give you a totally different experience. For example, the pyramid stage is some kind of very complex puzzle stage. You didn't just have to fight and jump through the enemy and obstacle, but you have to find the pieces of a hint, interpret them, and find the way to exit the maze. This kind of variety gameplay is normal in the NES game era, but I'm not sure how the modern player will feel about it. Even the game looks so cute, but Ascii the Brave Cat is not an easy A. It is quite difficult, but I feel the difficulty is somewhat manageable and fair. You begin the game with 3 lives. When you die, you will respawn at the last checkpoint. But if you run out of your life, you will game over and be sent back to the world map. This seems to be cruel and out of date because some modern games like Shovel Knight or Cyber Shadow allow you to have infinite life, then you never have to restart the level from the beginning. However, Ascii the Brave Cat had introduced the new mechanic to solve the game over issue: the slot machine. The red block will drop the red coin. You can use red coins at the slot machine that locates in several places of every stage. Then the slot machine will randomly give you some item you may need, such as HP restore or extra life. I found that by keeping collecting the red coin as much as possible, I had never experienced the game over screen. Another interesting feature of this game is the mini-game. You can spend the candy item that you got from the level to play a mini-game. There are 4 types of mini-game: card pairing, smash jelly, and queen, and high-low. The card pairing game really reminds me of Super Mario 3 and Goemon 2. It takes me almost an hour before I can learn the secret trick to beat the com. The N-Queen mini-game is very unique and fun to play. I learned from Wiki that this game is based on a famous mathematical problem. Mini-game is a good way to get a huge amount of gold which you may want for buying the upgrade or assist item. Talking about the assist item, the player of the 2D platformer game always knows that die from pitfall or instant kill spikes is very annoying. So, this game gives you the assist item system. The balloon and the angel heart will help you from that unwanted death. You can buy that item from the shop for 500 gold, which is a reasonable price. Each of them will be automatically used when you collide the spike or fall into the pitfall. But don't worry, you can decide when you want to use them by turning them on or off at any time. The checkpoint is well placed to not make you feel frustrated too much when you die. I feel that there will be a checkpoint every 7 or 8 screens, which I think is suitable. But some checkpoints are intentionally hidden and require some degree of notice skill before I can find them. The game also provides many ways of services if you think it is too difficult. First, it has the Explore mode which makes Ascii invincible, and has infinite life, but you will not able to save or progress the game. That means the purpose of this mode is for players to practice in the difficult part, or explore the stage to find out where the treasure is. And after you have some confidence or know the way, you have to clear that stage again normally. But if you feel that is not enough, the game also provides the old school cheat code for you. Press start to pause the game, then enter the code and bang, you can refill your HP, MP, lives, or assist item anytime. This is another thing retro games always have. Even the story is plain and vague, but the ending makes me stunned for a few seconds. I won't tell you what it is about. It may not stunt you, it may not mean anything to you, that depends on your experience. But I think I understand the message that the game wants to say. After finish the game, there's a new game plus which the level design is changed, more damage you got, the enemy has more HP, and the checkpoint requires gold to activate, which makes the second play fresh and more challenging for me. The game manual said there are even new game plus, but I still can't finish the second run, so I don't know how will the third round look like. Finally, Ascii the Brave Cat is a wonderful merging of old school aesthetic and modern design sensibilities like those games I mentioned. With cheat codes, everyone should able to play it in the way they want. The graphic is not great but acceptable. The soundtrack is cute and blends well with the game. The final boss music is something very surprising, I like it. The game length is about 7 to 8 hours without using a cheat code, which I think worth the price of it. Thank you for watching. For more indie game coverage, stay tuned on Hexagame.